Did you hear about Tony Curtis?
Yes.
Are you sad?
Yes. Yeah.
Cry.
I can't cry on the moment.
Cry! Hi guys. Today I was going to do a Kung Fu video because Lee did a Bruce Lee video on Sunday, and I was going to do a Jackie Chan video and make it a chop socky week. But as most of you will be aware, Tony Curtis died last night, and so I've got to make a video about Tony Curtis. I mean, the guy, the guy is a Hollywood legend. I think along with Kirk Douglas, at least for me, Tony Curtis is, those two are the biggest Hollywood stars there ever were. Because not only were they huge, they were good. You know what I mean? A lot of big stars aren't even that good, but these guys were good actors, and they were there at the pinnacle, Hollywood's golden era. They were right there in the middle of it in the 50s, and they were legends. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about my favourite Tony Curtis film, and it's a film also starring Kirk Douglas, and the film is called The Vikings. The Vikings is about two brothers, one played by Kirk Douglas and one played by Tony Curtis, and they're the sons of this Viking chieftain who's played by Ernest Borgnine. But it's kind of weird because I think Ernest Borgnine might even be younger than Kirk Douglas, even though he's playing his father. Or maybe if not younger, like 2 or 3 months older. But he looks older because Ernest Borgnine is a fucking giant of a man. And Kirk Douglas is a baby-faced, sex being. So how it works out is that Kirk Douglas is raised as a Viking. He's kind of Borgnine's legitimate son. Eric, meanwhile, that's the name of the character played by Tony Curtis. He is sired by Ragnar, Ernest Borgnine, but Ernest Borgnine is off in England. He's raping and pillaging, and he rapes the king's wife. He rapes the queen, right, of Northumbria, and she becomes pregnant. And I think Ragnar kills the king of Northumbria, so she's pregnant with this son that's going to grow up to become Tony Curtis. And because she knows she's pregnant with the Vikings' kid, she sends him off to Italy so that he's not killed by the new king of Northumbria. This makes it sound a lot more complicated than it really is. The baby gets captured by the Vikings, so it ends up like they're both brothers, end up being raised in the same village, but they don't know each other. It's kind of ridiculous, but it doesn't seem ridiculous when you watch it, okay? So the two brothers are growing up in the same village. One doesn't know that the chieftain is his father. In fact, he's used as a slave, okay? So Tony Curtis is the slave, and Kirk Douglas is kind of heir to the throne of this Viking chieftainship. Towards the end of the movie, Kirk Douglas finds out that Tony Curtis is his brother, and Tony Curtis doesn't know, and they have this battle, this sword fight on the top of this tower of this castle. And it's the best sword fight you will ever see. It makes you nauseous with vertigo just to watch it, because the camera's on this really precipitous angle, and they're falling down all these steps at the top of this tower, and you just think they're going to fall off the edge. I mean, it's something that would never be done now, and it would never look as good. So this thing that was filmed over 50 years ago, you will never see anything better. Okay, so you should definitely watch it, even for just that last scene, but the whole film's brilliant. I haven't really sold it that well. I used to watch The Vikings every weekend when I was a kid. I mean, I think my dad recorded it off TV, and we just watched the VHS every week. And when I was a kid, I had a kind of, like most people do, I kind of had a revulsion. Not a revulsion, but just unwillingness to watch old movies. I just thought they were boring, especially black and white. The Vikings isn't black and white. But for some reason, when I was a kid, I didn't class the Vikings as an old film. It just seemed really contemporary, and but I think it's because it's so exciting, it's so fun. You've got Kirk Douglas running on the oars of a Viking ship. You've got sword fights, people being tied to stakes and left out for the crabs to eat them, and the tide to come in and drown them. You've got Viking kings jumping into pits full of wolves and getting eaten alive. You've got people throwing axes at doors of castles, like at big doors, and like climbing up them. And when people talk about the fighting in Lord of the Rings and that Helm's Deep bullshit, that CGI crap, no. Watch The Vikings. There's real battles, man. It's brilliant. If you're in the US, you can watch it for free on Hulu, or you can probably just like buy it on a DVD for £2 or $2 or whatever. Tony Curtis, what a fucking guy. And I'll see you all again next week. Alright guys, let's hope nobody dies this week. Because I'll be doing Jackie Chan next week otherwise. But anyway, I'll see you next week. Go. See you guys. Blah, 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 blah.